still ain't got back to me.
Is he not? He obviously doesn't like you.
Well, Nick accidentally ran over Charlotte's paddle.
Ran over my paddle last week, yeah. Right, I'm just going to pop
This massive crack or whatever.
I'm Charlotte Henshaw. I'm a para-canoeist, and it's a year to go again till the Tokyo Paralympics opening ceremony. And instead of, hopefully, should have been out in Tokyo today, but we are making the most of the lovely weather and putting in a good day of training to put us in the best possible position to compete next year. Yeah, it was hard the day that I looked at my calendar and I saw that big bit that was blocked out for potential Tokyo travel and things, and having to delete that was quite hard. But we've been given this opportunity for an extra year to try and hone our craft and get better and be more ready for the challenge when the time comes. So you kind of have to flip it on its head and look at it in a positive light. So I think we're doing 150s this morning at a capped stroke rate. So working on technique pretty much this morning. Bringing a little bit of intensity in, but not too much. We've got a pretty tough session this afternoon. So getting tuned in after the weekend is always a challenge. Don't want to miss us talking about our bird friend.
Premium content.
It's called Fish the Bird and Duck the Bird.
Yeah. But he hangs around this jetty here, like when we don't know if it's the same one, but we've decided it is.
He's so
It's like our little mascot. We were kind of hanging around in the car park for the first few weeks of when we were allowed back onto the water. But obviously we have to maintain social distance all the time, and our athlete lounge was shut and still is. So when the cafes and restaurants started to open up again, we decided to take advantage of that and do our bit with trying to eat out if we could. And it's difficult to spend a full day around your training environment for some people, and I like the fact that we can kind of get away, park training here and then go and spend time together as people, not just as Charlotte the paddler. And I think that that's really valuable to do that and just spend some time together as a group of people rather than just slugging it out on the lake all the time. Veggie breakfast always, for me anyway. Meat man's over there.
Sweet potato, for instance. None of us are veggies,
but no mushrooms. Can't stand having mushrooms on. Oh, awful. Taints everything. Juicy, horrible. But I'm not the only one. Me and Rob are like, no mushrooms, absolutely no mush. There we go. So when we came back into training after lockdown, there was no cafes open, there was no anything. So the only place we had to kind of go that was a slight change of scenery from training venue was basically across the other side of the training venue, next to the river. There was enough open space for us all to kind of chill out. People could lie their seats down in their boots so they can have a rest if they want it. We could sit and have a chat without being, where we're training all the time. So it's nice when the weather's lovely. When it's cold, it's a bit more of a nightmare. And we're having to shut ourselves in our cars. So the winter's probably going to be quite challenging if we're still doing the same thing. But we're well practiced in chucking a pillow and a duvet in the back of your car and getting the rest in however we can. This afternoon we're going into doing some start bucket efforts, which is a real key race skill that we need to keep on top of. It's a real skill to be able to stay in the bucket and be able to exert your start correctly. And even though we're not racing, it's something we need to keep on top of. So much shorter, intense efforts this afternoon, which, like I say, will put you in good stead for when we do start to race again.
Ready, set.
Games I was there as a swimmer, and I didn't start my paracanoe journey until 2017, and I think that my journey in paracanoe has been so steep, the trajectory, and it's been a bit of a snowball effect for me. And like you say, I am relatively new to the sport. It was my first Paralympic cycle, so there's absolutely still big improvements that I can make and learnings that I need to know about the sport. So an extra year to be better and understand the new world that I'm in is exciting for me, and I think that certainly helped me reset my plans and my goals for the next year. And it's exciting to think how much more of an improvement can we make with an extra 12 months. All done. At the end of the day, we want to be ready to go on the first day of the Paralympic Games in Tokyo when it happens, whether that's 2020, 2021. We need to know that we can hit the ground running and perform as we want to. And I think, like I say, with the support team that we have around us, it makes it very easy to do that. And all we have to do is focus on doing our job and paddling well. I'm really excited for the year ahead, and we were really fortunate to go to Tokyo at the end of last year, and we saw how excited they were and how prepared they were to put on an incredible Paralympics, and that excitement's not gone away. We've just got to wait a little bit longer for it, but I try and remember that feeling that I had when I was paddling on the course out in Tokyo, and it was amazing. And I have to keep that in the back of my mind, that the goal is still to compete at the Paralympic Games, and like I say, I've got to wait a little bit longer for it. I've still got to be selected. That's not a foregone conclusion, but to have been fortunate enough to be there and sense that excitement, it was infectious. And I think that's what's getting me through the next 12 months, is how incredible it can potentially be. And if we can all come together and celebrate the spirit of the Paralympics and everyone coming together from all over the world, I think you're not going to want to miss it.